We have debt financing. All right, let me share. Under the conventional financing, when we say conventional, what we are used to, we are used to equity finance in our environment. Companies can issue equity to source finance. We are used to debt financing. Under debt finance, bank can grant loan to customer. Customer can issue debt instruments such as bond, debentures, loan stock, loan notes. Under conventional debt financing, we have bank overdraft, we have trade credit, we have operating leaks. If you look at conventional financing, particularly debt finance is driven by interest. The lender will demand interest. Whether the business is profitable or not, interest must be paid. Repayments must be made. Where the borrower cannot meet repayments, the lender can take action to recover the loan granted by liquidating the company. We are used to this under conventional financing. Precisely tonight, one of our discussion is Islamic finance success. What is Islamic financing? If you have reviewed your syllabus, Islamic finance is part of financing we are supposed to know. If you look at the Nigerian banking environment now, Islamic banks are coming up. We have Jais Bank operating under Islamic finance concept. Recently, we have Lotus Bank operating under Islamic finance or Islamic banking. That means, as accountants, we need to understand the concept of Islamic finance. So we are going to deal with it, and we look at other things relating to finance success. All right, let's go to it. The class is filled tonight. What's happening? I have Fidelis and Prosper online. Okay, so maybe they are coming in. We are open. Others will join. Normally, I always see like 7 or 6 students online. Let's continue with the class. What is Islamic finance? Islamic finance is otherwise known as non-interest banking. Islamic finance is usually referred to as non-interest banking. That is, Islamic finance is finance granted without demanding interest. That is quite interesting. Islamic finance is the financial system that is based on adherence to the Islamic law or Islamic Sharia. Finance that is developed on the basis of Islamic principles. Islamic finance offers services, products, instruments based on compliance to the Sharia, Islamic Sharia. They offer financial services. Islamic finance offers financial services, financial products, financial instruments on the basis of compliance with the principle of Islamic law. Under Islamic law, the payments or acceptance of interest charges for lending or borrowing is completely prohibited. Under Islamic finance, bank cannot grant loan and charge interest. Also, where bank accept deposits from customer will not expect interest on his or her deposits. Under Islamic finance, finance can only be obtained to carry out trade and business activities that are considered in line with the principle of Islamic law. In other words, under Islamic finance, company cannot obtain loan to finance unethical businesses. Let me repeat that point. Under Islamic finance, companies cannot obtain loan, or Islamic bank will not give you loan to finance a project or a business that is considered unethical. You can only finance ethically permissible businesses. What are these businesses that are considered ethically unpermissible or unethically? For example, alcoholic business cannot be financed by Islamic bank. Alcohol is regarded as unethical business. Alcohol is considered injurious to public health. Hence, bank will not give company money to produce and market alcohol. That product, alcohol, is considered injurious to public health. Also, gambling. Gambling is considered injurious to public health. Islamic bank will not grant finance for such business. Under Islamic finance, money is not regarded as an asset from which it is ethically permissible to earn a direct return. Let me repeat that. Under Islamic finance, money, cash, is not regarded as an asset from which it is ethically permissible to earn a direct return. That means you cannot borrow somebody money or lend somebody money and expect to get return on that money. You have not done any work. You have not created any value. You just sat in your house. You borrow somebody 1 million naira. You now expect the person to pay 10%. So you expect 100,000 as return on your 1 million. What value have you created? You have just borrowed somebody money. So you cannot grant loan and expect return on that loan. That is considered exploitation. Now the question will be, how does Islamic bank operate to make profits? If they are not charging interest, how would the bank operate to make profits? Islamic banking is based on the principle of partnership banking. That is the concept of Islamic banking. Islamic finance is based largely on the principle of partnership banking. Let us look at the various Islamic products that Islamic bank use to provide finance for their customers. Let us look at the various Islamic products used by Islamic bank, to provide services for their customers. We have majorly 5. Number 1 is Musharaka, Islamic finance contracts. You are going to carefully study the spelling. For some of us, it may be a non-familiar environment. We are used to English. Musharaka Islamic Finance Contract. This is an Islamic finance product. Musharaka Islamic Finance Contract is an Islamic finance product that is based on profits and loss sharing partnership. Musharaka is based on profits and loss sharing partnership, and it is the most authentic form of Islamic finance. Please look at it. It's based on profit and loss sharing partnership. It is the most authentic form of Islamic finance. Under these contracts, two or more partners contribute capital to finance a project. Under this contract, two or more partners contribute capital to finance a project or own a real estate. In this case, bank and the customer will go into partnership financing. In this case, bank and the company is the customer. The two will enter into partnership finance. They will finance a project. Where there is profit from that project, both partners will distribute profits according to pre-agreed ratios. Remember, we have two partners now. Bank and the company will finance a project. Bank and the company will jointly finance a project. Where there is profit from that project, the profit will be distributed according to pre-agreed ratios between the bank and the company. Where there is losses from that business, the losses will be shared between the bank and the company are contributed. That is the concept of Musharaka Islamic Finance Package. Is that taking place?
Yes, sir.
So please notice. You can just look at the example. Jaiz Bank, maybe Jaiz Bank and Dangote. The two companies will finance a project. Dangote has gotten a project to finance. Jaiz will contribute to the project. Dangote will contribute. If there is profit, Dangote and Jaiz will share. If there is loss, Dangote and Jaiz will also share the loss in accordance with the capital contribution. That is the concept of Musharaka. I want to take this number, I want this one to come second, because it has on, permit me to move this as second. it has some similarity with the first one. So I want to explain them alongside. All right, let's continue with the class. Number 2. Mudaraba Islamic finance contracts. Number 2. Mudaraba Islamic finance contracts. This contract is based on the principle of profit sharing and loss bearing. This contract is based on the principle of profit sharing and loss bearing, whereby one party supplies funding, one party will provide all the capital required for the business. The other party provides efforts and management expertise with a view to generating a profit. Usually, bank will provide all the capital needed for the business, while the management of the company will provide efforts and management expertise to run the business and generate profits. Where there is profit from the business, both partners will share the profits between the provider of capital and the management of the enterprise, based on the agreed ratios. Let me repeat that point. Where there is profit from the business, the profit will be distributed between the providers of capital, that is between the bank and the management of the enterprise, in accordance with ratio agreed before the beginning of the project. Now, in the event of loss, only the provider of capital will bear all the loss. That is, only the bank will bear all the financial loss. Only bank contributes money to the business. The company management supplies efforts and expertise. If there is profit, bank and the management share profits. If there is loss, only the bank will suffer the financial loss. You now wonder how. The manager bears no financial loss. Why? Because the management has invested their time. They have lost their time and effort invested in the business. This is the principle of Mudaraba. I hope this point is clear. I hope this point is well taken.
Yes, sir.
Right? So, examiner can twist question to you. Your client is considering using conventional financing or alternatively using Islamic finance. Advise your clients on the appropriate products that can be used. It was once tested 2016. Examiner can take any aspect. Our environment, Islamic banks are growing, and we are accountants. If you are to audit Jais Bank, you will not say, I don't know anything about Islam, Islamic finance. We should know. We must know. Number 3. Islamic finance products. Murabaha. Islamic finance products. Murabaha is a popular Sharia compliant sales transaction. Murabaha is a popular Sharia compliant sale transaction, mostly used in trade and asset financing. Under this contract, the bank purchases the goods, deliver them to the customer, deferring payments to a date agreed by the two parties. Under this contract, under Murabaha contract, banks purchases the goods, deliver the goods to the customer, deferring payment to a date agreed between the two parties. Expected return of Murabaha is interest payments on conventional loan. Let us explain this. Let us drive this with illustration. Assuming Dangote Cement. Dangote Cement require raw material. And these raw materials are imported. Dangote can approach Islamic Bank to obtain or to enter into Murabaha contracts. To enter into Murabaha contracts. Under this contract, bank will purchase the raw materials required for production. Bank will finance the purchases. Bank will now deliver this raw material to Dangote Cement. Dangote Cement will now use the raw material for production. Payments will be deferred to a date agreed between the bank and Dangote Cement. Let's assume bank has purchased raw material that worth 100 million on behalf of Dangote. This raw material will be delivered to Dangote to produce their cement. Maybe the agreement is to pay this money in 6 months. After 6 months, Dangote will be expected to pay for the raw material, 100 million. In addition, there's going to be expected return on that payment. The return on that payment is usually aligned with interest payment, meaning it's similar to interest payment on conventional loan. Both parties will agree that, okay, maybe the return on this 100 million, they might say, okay, give us 10%. That means Dangote will pay 100 million after 6 months. In addition, 10% of 100 million, 10 million will be paid as expected return. Like asset-backed loan, there's goods. That raw material is an asset. Dangote convert raw material into finished product and makes it. Dangote generate profits. Part of the profits will now be paid as return to the bank. That is the concept of Muraba. Number 4. Ijaro. Ijaro financing. Ijaro financing is similar to lease contracts. When we discuss leasing, Ijaro is essentially leasing. Ijaro is a contract of sale of the rights to use an asset for a period of time. A contract of sale of the rights to use an asset for a specified period of time. It is essentially a lease contract. So, whereby the lessor must own for the entire lease period. Please note, under Ijaro, ownership is not transferred. The asset belongs to the lessor. The lessor will sell the rights to use the asset to the lessee. In return, the lessee will pay for the lease renter. Under Ijaro, since ownership remains with the lessor, the asset can be repossessed. Can be repossessed in the case of non-payment by the lessee. If you look at Ijaro, Ijaro is similar to operating lease under the conventional financing. The lessor is responsible for the maintenance of the assets. So, a company can approach Islamic Bank to enter into Ijaro financing. For example, a company requires a plant for production, and the plant will cost 100 million naira. If purchased, the company can approach Islamic Bank to enter into Ijaro financing. The Islamic Bank will purchase that plant. The Islamic Bank becomes the lessor, the owner of the plant. They will now lease the plant to the company. When we say leasing now, they will sell the rights to use the plant to the company for a specified period of time. The company in return will pay annual lease rental. That is Ijaro for you. Then we have Sukuk. We should be familiar. We should be familiar with Sukuk, because the federal government has issued Sukuk. Sukuk. Federal government under Buhari, there was Sukuk financing. Sukuk is the Islamic equivalent of bond. Sukuk is the Islamic equivalent of bond, and they are similar to asset-backed securities. If you remember bond instruments, then that is Islamic Sukuk, bond instruments. Whereas under the conventional bond, a bond is a promise to repay the loan. Whereas a conventional bond is a promise to repay a loan. Sukuk constitutes partial ownership in the assets. What that means is, under Sukuk, the borrower will not pay back the loan. Under Sukuk instruments, the borrower will not pay back the loan. The lenders, that is the investors, they have partial ownership in the assets created by that Sukuk bond. Let us explain this with illustration. The practical case of Nigerian Sukuk bond. The federal government issued Sukuk bond to finance road construction. The federal government issued Sukuk bond to finance road construction. Investors, the general public, are invited to subscribe for this bond, for this Sukuk bond. If you subscribe, that means you are parting with your money. I think the bond was issued at 1,000 naira per bond. You can subscribe for 10 times 1,000. You can subscribe for 100. Depending on what you wanted. Now, when you subscribe, you now become the investor. You are now giving, you are giving loan to federal government. The loan is to finance a specific project. That project is road construction. When the project is completed, that means the road will be constructed. That road becomes an asset now. All the investors are now the owners of that road, partial ownership. If the road is used and revenue is generated, maybe revenue from toll collection, government will now separate. We divide the revenue into two. One for the maintenance of the road, the other to repay returns to the investors. Investor will continue to get return in as much as that road is generating revenue. But the principal amount will not be repaid. That is the concept of Islamic Sukuk. Under Islamic finance, there must be an asset that backs the loan. That road is the asset. If you look at that Lekki toll gate, that is the concept. Although Lekki toll gate was not financed with Sukuk, you can see people staying around Lekki, they complain. We need to understand the concept. That road was not financed by government. That road was not financed by public funds. Some people contributed money to finance the construction of that Lekki road. They become the owners of that road. Their loan will not be repaid, but the agreement is to generate income from that road. From that income, part will be set aside for maintenance. Part will be set aside to repay returns to the investors. Some of us, we argue out of ignorance. Imagine having a good road and getting to your house or getting to your business points and paying a toll plaza of, say, 200 or 100, compared to spending hours in traffic. The hours we lost in traffic, we could have put this hour into productive use. That is the concept of Islamic sukuk. In Islamic country, they understand this concept that if all of us contribute money to finance roads, or we construct public library, and we equip the library, you can go to the library and read. Different books are available in the library. If you clock in to enter library, they tell you to pay subscription, maybe annual subscription of just 1,000. The subscription is just for the maintenance of the library. We have library staff. They do it even in Nigeria. If you come to Magodo area here, where you have CMD, Center for Development, all those got. You come there now, there's a library there. You pay and you can come in and read. The first 5 are the popular Islamic finance products. This last 2 was added, I think I added it myself. It wasn't part of ICANN syllabus. Part of ICANN study pack, I'm not sure. We also have Salam. It's a mode of financing in Islam. It is a sales where the seller undertakes to supply specific goods to the buyer at a future date. At a future date in exchange for an advance price, fully paid as spot. What we are saying is, we can go into Salam, mostly for agricultural sector. I can say where I'm going to supply, you are into farming. We can go into financing, okay? I'm going to supply you fertilizer at a future specified date. Both of us will agree the price today. But I will supply you that fertilizer at a future date. And look, I can arrange fertilizer for you to be delivered to you in 1 month's time. 2 of us will now agree a price now. For that fertilizer, I'm going to supply you in 1 month's time. This looks like hedging. We have hedged the price. Regardless of the actual price in 1 month's time, we have agreed a price. We also have Istina. is another mode of financing where the commodity involved is manufactured to the specification of the purchaser. This is widely used in the housing finance sector, where the client seeks finance for the construction of a house. If they are planning to build a house of yours, you can approach Islamic Bank to build a house for you to meet your own specification. Definitely, the bank will finance the construction, but the construction will be done to your own specification. But both parties will agree on the repayment of the loan. Like we go through houses here, or we go through stress here in this part of the world. You want to build, you are going through stress. If you have a good job and you want to build, Islamic Bank will build for you. You are going to enter into istina. Certain amount will be deducted from your salary for the repayment of the housing loan. Those are the products available under Islamic finance. Any question, please? All right, let's round up this class. Let's take one more question so that we round up this topic. I want to add more to this question to explain certain principle to you guys. Calculate value per value of the rights per existing shares. One more. What are the options open to a shareholder of yes. in Balama. In Balama PSC. Determine the effect of each of these options on the words of the shareholder. Okay. I'm trying to expand this question to cover areas that we shall deal with it together in this class. Let's look at this question quickly. Within the time provided, 1 hour. Balama PSC, in brackets, Balama. Please, like I usually advise, as much as possible, pay attention to the question. Balama PSC, in bracket Balama, is a listed manufacturer. The company is listed. Manufacturer of dairy products. In recent years, the company has experienced only a modest level of growth. But following the recent retirement of the chief executive, his replacement is keen to expand Balama's operations. The board of directors has recently agreed to support a proposal by the new chief executive that the company purchase a new manufacturing equipment to enable it expand its range of dairy products. The new equipment will cost 50 million naira. And the company is seeking to raise a new finance to fund the expenditure in full. However, the board of directors is undecided as to how the finance will be raised. The board is considering either a 1-for-5 rights issue at a price of 2.50 naira per share, or a convertible of 50 million naira. The loan will be secured against the company's freehold land and building, and the company's share price. The company's share price is currently quoted at a price of, the company share is currently quoted at the price of 3 naira per share. Requirements A, explain the terms right issue and convertible loan stock. This was the question November 2022. For crying loud sake. Excluding C and D that I've just added, examiner has just tested these 20 marks. Please, what is right issue? What is convertible loan? Yes, the line is open. Or you can send in you can type in, what is right issue? Zainab, are you there?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, what is right issue? Amaka, I'm coming. Let Zainab speak.
It is new shares offered to existing shareholders by the company.
Okay.
Yeah.
New shares offered to existing shareholders. Please complete it.
At a lower cost.
At a lower price, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay. No. I saw. Yes, you were trying to speak. You want to add to it? Amaka?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
She was right, but I think what I wanted to add is that the shares are issued in proportion to the number of shares that are already holding.
Thank you. Thank you. Right issue. Issue of new shares. Offer of new shares to existing shareholder in proportion to the number of shares currently held, usually at a reduced price. That is great. No, that's not it. Oh, Debbie, what you send in is not correct, please. Right issue is the issue of new shares to existing shareholders in proportion to the number of shares currently held, usually at a reduced price. Please take the correction, Debbie. That's why it's to get students' view. Please take the correction. Right issue. A right issue is the issue of new shares to existing shareholders in proportion to the number of shares currently held, usually at a lower price or at a reduced price or at a discounted price. Now, what is convertible loan? Let's do quick. What is convertible loan? Should I call name now?
Okay, let me try. Good evening, everyone. So, convertible loan is a loan that the holder have the option to convert it to equity shares.
The option to
convert to equity shares to shares.
Okay, that's fine. Wilson said convertible loan that the holder has option to convert to equity share. That's fine. Option. Any addition? Any addition to it? That's good. Convertible loan. Convertible loan are debt instruments. As the holder, the right, but not the obligation. The right, but not the obligation to convert to equity shares within a specified future period. Is that clear to all? All right, we are done with the 3 marks. Now look at B. Explain how theoretical S-right price of 2 naira 92 kobo is calculated and why the actual price might be different. Show your workings. Now, please calculate theoretical S-right price for me. Examiner says it must give you 2 naira 92 kobo. Let's open our book now. We have solved questions related to this. Let's compute theoretical S-right price. And let us prove that the answer is 2 naira 92 kobo. Yes? Open your schedule in your book. Open your schedule. Explain to me how you have computed it. How do we compute S-right price? Who can explain? Who can explain, please?
That's your question, please.
Look at requirement B. Explain how the theoretical S-right price of 2 naira 92 kobo is calculated. That means if you want to calculate theoretical S-right price, examiner say the answer will give you 2 naira 92 kobo. Then how do we compute it to get 2 naira 92 kobo? What do you require to calculate theoretical S-right price?
So is the number of existing shares times the
Existing
price,
shares times
You
what?
did. And
the price, and the number of the new issues times the price. Then you divide the price, that's the value, with the number of shares, the number of shares.
Now look at it now. The board is considering 1 for 5. That means for 5 existing shares, we are going to issue 1 new share. So open your book. Existing shares 5. New shares 1. Right? Open your book. Existing shares quantity 5. New shares 1. What is the current price of the existing shares?
3 naira.
Okay, that means 5 multiplied by 3 naira. What is the value?
15.
15. Keep it. New shares. What is the price of new shares?
2.5.
0.5.
250 kobo. 1 new shares multiplied by 250 kobo. What do you have?
2.5.
2.5. So you have gotten 2 values. Add your value. 15 plus 2.5. What do you have?
That's 17.5.
Great. Add your shares. 5 plus 5 plus 1. What do you have?
That's 6.
So get your theoretical S-right price. Total value divided by total quantity.
2.9.
Have you?
2.92.
That's all. You have explained to the examiner, look at it here, please. Theoretical S right price. Existing shares 5. Quantity. New shares 1. Market price of existing shares 3 naira. Market price of new shares 250. Your value. Sum up. Divide. You have proved to the examiner. S right price 2 naira 92 kobo. Is that clear to all? Is that clear to all?
Yes, I see.
Good. Please, let's try to understand how to approach questions. Part of B says, why the actual price might be different. What you have calculated is theoretical S right price. Your theoretical S right price is the expected share price after the completion of the right issue. Your theoretical S right price is what the share price ought to stock. That is the estimated share price after the completion of the right issue. Examiner says, why would actual price be different from the theoretical S right price? Look at the reasons. 1, the existence of specific information, positive or negative, regarding the company or its market sector that can affect the actual share price. This aspect is usually tested though. If you are going to study and memorize it, try to understand it. The existence of specific information, positive or negative, regarding the company or its market sector at the time of the issue that can affect the actual share price. What this is trying to explain is, this company, Balama, is issuing new shares. If you are not aware that this company is facing lawsuits, there's litigation against this company, existence of specific information that this company serves, the debt holder has sued the company. This company is facing legal action in court. That information will affect the price. The lender has carried the company to court. Existence of specific information, either positive or negative, about the company will affect the share price. Number 2, information regarding the use to which the proceeds will be put and the market reaction to that information. What that means is, what is the company going to do with the money generated from the right issue? Information regarding the use to which the proceeds will be put. What are we using the proceeds for? That information can affect the share price. If the proceed is to finance a project and that project is highly profitable, the company share price will rise. Then number 3, of investors and the stock market regarding the company's future. It's like saying now MTN is issuing shares. And say MTN is a big company. The company even have a brighter future. People will say, no, this company is good. This company has a brighter future. So if Balama PSC, if the expectation is that the future of Balama PSC is very bright, then investors will be willing to buy the shares. As more and more people are willing to buy the shares, the share price will rise. Is that clear, please? Please note this environment is frequently being texted. Now, I've added 2 other requirements to explain it. Examiner can ask you to calculate value of the rights per existing shares. You can also be asked to calculate value of the rights per new shares. Yes. I'm trying to explore a lot. Value of the rights per new shares. Value of the rights per new share. Let's explore this. When we say value of the rights, it means gain from the rights. Let me repeat it. When we say value of the rights, it means gain or profit from the rights. How do we calculate this? As a shareholder, you can buy the new share for 2 naira 50 kobo. After the right issue is completed, we expect the price to be 2 naira 92 kobo. What is the gain to you, please? What is the gain? Will I call name now? As a shareholder, for 2 naira 50 kobo. After we are done with the right issue, the price of the shares at the stock market is expected to be 2 naira 92 kobo. What is the gain to you, please?
42 kobo.
42 kobo
Per share.
Thank you. That means 2 naira 92 kobo minus 2 naira 50 kobo. That is the value. That is the gain. Thank you. That is the gain. For example, say value of the right per existing share. Let's go to it. If you are to calculate this, I've added this deliberately to explain. Value of the rights per existing share is equal to the X right price minus issue price divided by existing shares. Existing share. I will now come here. I'll come here now. Let's continue. This is equal to never thought I'm going to do this, but the spirit just directly. I've treated this with the online, with the physical class students. How many existing shares do we have? How many existing shares? Hello? Existing share, how many? How many existing shares? People will speak. Oh.
So can we go back to the question? It seems it's 50 million.
50 million K. Existing shares. The body is considering 1 for 5. 5 existing shares. Look at it. Please, you don't take total existing shares. The board is considering either 1 for 5, 1 new share for 5 existing shares. Your existing shares, you are going to take that arrangement. 5 existing shares. We are going, for every 5 existing shares, we are going to issue 1 new shares as rights. So your existing share becomes what? 5. Is that clear, please? Is that clear, please? The class is silent. Okay, any question? Any question, please? 0.42 divided by 5. That is the value of the right per existing share. You can now divide and give me the answer.
0.084.
Is equal to 0.084. That is the value per existing share. Please, if there's question, please ask me. If there's question, please, you can speak out. If examiner says value per existing shares, please don't take total number of existing shares. Go to the arrangement of the right issue. Examiner will tell you the right issue is arranged as 1 for 5. That means we are going to issue 1 new shares for 5 existing shares. If you are to calculate value, the D part, if you are to calculate value per new shares, value per new share is Value per new shares. Value of the rights per new share. New share. Is equal to S right price, the same thing like this. I'll just copy this more like this. I will now change this to what? New shares. Your answer becomes, this becomes 2.92 minus 2.50. How many new shares? 1 for 5 divided by 1. Divided by 1 new share. By 1. Value per new shares is equal to 0.4. Please look at this very well. Examiner can do this in exam. The same question can be repeated. Examiner will now change part of the requirements. The arrangement is 1 for 5. We have answer A, B, C, D. We have E.
Please, sir, I have a question.
Please feel free. Who is speaking? Amaka?
Yes, sir, it's me, sir. So I want to ask, when calculating this shares, issue of shares, do you look at it from the investor's perspective or from the company's perspective?
It's from the investor's perspective.
Okay, sir.
From the shareholder's perspective.
Okay, sir. All right, sir.
What's the company's business? Company is just to raise money and move on now. Is that clear, please?
Yes, sir. Like what I'm considering, the fact that originally the price of this shares to the company is 3 naira, right? And it has been sold below the price. I mean, from the company side, they are losing, and there is nothing like profit.
Company is not losing, no. Company is not losing. That share price is investor's business. Okay, if you invest in First Bank shares, that price of 3 naira is your own, is your shares. Do you understand it? If the price is rising, it is you that your investment is rising. It has nothing, you bought the shares. Look at it this way. You bought shares from Dangote. Maybe you bought the share this January. After that time, Dangote was selling for 50 naira per shares. You now bought at 50 naira. You parted with that money. Dangote issued the shares at 50 naira. So you now bought like 10,000 of Dangote shares. 50 times 10,000. Maybe that will cost you like 500,000 naira. Then you parted with your 500,000. You have given Dangote. Dangote now give you a certificate showing that you have 10,000 shares. Dangote will not put price on it. They will just put 10,000 shares you have with us. Now, if the share price is rising in the market, that means your investment is rising. It has nothing to do with Dangote as a company now. If the share price is falling, your investment is falling. Dangote has collected the 500 and they have used it for their business. It is the investor now. Is that clear, sir? Amaka, are you
Yes,
there,
sir.
please?
Yes, sir. It is. It is. Thank you, sir.
Now, you are looking at it that the price was the existing shares. The existing share has a price of 3 naira. The company now issue new shares at 2 naira 50 kobo. That new shares is meant for existing shareholders. Now, the expectation is that because the company has issued new shares, the volume of the company shares will rise at the stock market. We expect the company share price at the stock market to fall. That is what gives rise to theoretical strike price. So I understand you are looking at that, but the price was 3 naira before now. Stock market price is not fixed. If you observe it, if you look at channels, they will announce after their news, they now say stock market report, something. Share price is always fluctuating. If share price fluctuates, it is the investor that is directly affected. So I understand what is running through your mind. Is the company making profit? Before, the price was 3 naira. But if you look at it, investor will buy the new shares for 2 naira 50 kobo. On that new shares, investor can sell for 2 naira 92 kobo. That means there is a gain to the investor on the new shares. The value of the right per new shares, one new shares, this is the value. But examiner says 5 existing shares. That means the value for existing share is just 0.084. Investors do not have control over the stock market price. So I can understand your mind looking at that share price. That should be the existing shares was 3 naira. Now they are losing now because the price is now 2 naira 92 kobo. The next question we should explain more. Now look at the next requirements. Requirements E. Look at our requirements. Let me copy it closer. We are going to work this also. I don't know. Maybe, but my spirit was just to do this. Maybe just to make sure I satisfy my conscience. Maybe to be texted. I don't know. But whatever is done at the physical class, as far as at the online class too. Now, what are the options open to a shareholder of 100,000 shares in Balama PSC? Determine the effect of each of these options on the wealth of the shareholder. Now, what are the options? I want to ask the class, what are the options open to shareholders? What are the options open to shareholders of 10,000 shares in Balama regarding the right? Something is missing here. Regarding the rights issue. That's the question. Yes. What are the options open to a shareholder of 10,000 shares in Balama PSC regarding the rights issue? Determine the effect of each of these options on the wealth of the shareholder. Now,
Okay.
we speak.
They can, is Wilson speaking? They can choose to exercise the right or not.
They can choose to what?
Exercise the right or not.
Exercise their right, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That is by saying that they can choose to buy the right issues
They can
or
choose
not
to
buy.
buy the new shares. That's great.
Yes,
Option one.
yes, yes.
That's great.
Or they can also choose not to buy it.
Okay, option one.
Mm.
One. The shareholder can take up his rights and buy the new shares. That is option one. So, option two.
Option two, they can sell the right to others.
Thank
Like
you. Thank you. Option two. Option two. The shareholder can renounce the rights and sell the new shares to another investor. The shareholder can renounce the rights yes, option three.
they can choose to do nothing.
Okay, I agree with you. Shareholder can choose to do nothing. What other option? We have four options. Who is speaking, sir? Is it Wilson?
Yes, it's Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson. The shareholder can ignore the right. I agree. That will come under 4. That's option Option 4. What is option 3? I know I stated 4 in my class.
Yes.
Option, you have listed 3. Yes, they can help you. Where's Abu? Fidelis. Believe.
The shareholders
Who is
can
speaking?
take up prosper, sir.
Okay.
The shareholders can take up part of the rights and renounce parts.
Thank you. Shareholder can take up parts and sell part of the right. That's correct. That is the complete. Shareholder can ignore. Shareholder can ignore the rights. Sorry. Shareholder can ignore the rights. Ignore the rights and take no action. Option 3, the shareholder can take up parts of the rights and sell parts to another investor. Those are the 4 options. Examiner says, what are the options open to shareholder of 10,000 shares in Balama PSC regarding the right issue? You have listed the option. It now says, determine the effect of each of these options on the weight of the shareholders. Determine the effect of each of these options on the weight of the shareholders. So I'll come here, option 1. The effects of this option on the weight of the shareholder. On the weight of the shareholder is shown below. Look at below, please. You are going to open a schedule. This should be enough. You have your item. You have your quantity. You have your X right price. You have your value. You start with existing shares. Existing shares. How many shares does this shareholder have in the company? How many shares? Look at it. What are the options open to a shareholder of how many shares? Oh yeah.
100,000 shares.
That means this shareholder has 100,000 shares in the company. You can imagine yourself as a shareholder. You have 100,000 shares in a company. Existing shares, 100,000. Now, after the right issue, you expect the share price to be how much? 2 naira, 92 kobo. Please multiply. Quantity multiplied by price. What's the value?
292,000.
292,000. 292,000. This is your existing shares. You expect that after the right issue, the stock market price will be 92 kobo. Then the value of your existing shares become 292,000. You now have new shares. Your new shares. How many new shares are you entitled to? 1 for 5. Are you talking to us? How many new shares are you entitled to? 1 for 5.
20,000 shares.
That means 1/5 multiplied by 10,000. You are entitled to 20,000 shares. Is that clear to all? 1 for 5. That means you are entitled to 20,000 new shares. Since you are taking up your rights, you are going to get 20,000 new shares. You are going to get 20,000 new shares. Now, after the right issue, the value of the new shares at the stock market is still 2 naira 92. Please multiply.
58,400.
400,000. Now you are going to buy these new shares. You want to take it up, you must buy it, Abby. That means cost of new shares. The new shares is 20,000 new shares. What is the price? What is the price per new shares? Yes.
2.5. 2.5.
2 naira 50 kobo, please. 2 naira, please. 2 naira was 50 kobo. So multiply. 2 naira 50 kobo multiplied by 20,000. Cost of new shares.
50,000.
50,000. It's going to cost you 50,000. Just go straight to the value, please. Put the cost at the value side. That means this is 50,000. Is this figure correct? 58,400.
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'm just being careful. We have 20,000 multiplied by 2.2. Okay. We have 100,000 multiplied by 2. Okay. This is cost. Get your total value. Addition of all the value. Worth of the shareholder. After rights issue. Please, can you sum up these three? Plus, plus, minus.
300,400.
300,000.
400.
300,000. 400. This is the worth of the shareholder after rights issue. What is the worth of the shareholder before rights issue? Look at the worth after rights issue. This is the worth after rights issue. What is the worth before rights issue? Before rights issue, before rights issue, the worth
300.
is, he has 100,000 shares, have you?
Yes, sir.
What is the price per share? 3 naira, have you?
Yes,
Before
sir.
the rights issue, price per share was 3 naira. Yeah, 3 naira. Multiply.
300,000.
Thank you. Multiply by 3. This gives us 300,000. What has happened to the shareholders' worth?
It has increased.
Thank you. By taking up the new shares, the worth has increased marginally by 400. Number of shares also increased to 120,000. The effect of option 1 on the worth of the shareholder. Before right issue, the worth is this amount. That is the worth. After right issue, the worth has increased marginally by 4 naira, 400,000, 400 naira. You have treated option 1. Option 2. Shareholder can renounce the right and sell it. What is the implication of this option on the wealth of the shareholders? Again, you are going to open a schedule. Please, let us carefully study this. That has been tested before, it could be repeated. Open your schedule. Okay. You have your item. You have your quantity. X. Right price. Then value. Please, you always start with your existing shares. That is the, imagine yourself as the shareholder now, okay? I have how many shares before in the company? There's 60 shares. You have 10,000 shares. You have 100,000 shares in the company. You have 100,000 shares. After the right issue, the price is expected to be 2 naira 90. This will give you 292,000. We say, yeah, you are going to renounce the right and sell the new shares. This on sales. How many new shares are we going to sell? Hello? Yes. How many new shares
20.
are we selling? 20,000. Yeah, I want the class to follow. We are going to sell
20,000 shares.
20,000 shares. What is the gain per new shares?
$40.
You can go up. You see, what is the gain per new shares?
42 kobo.
Thank you. 42 kobo. Is that high enough? You now multiply. Multiply by the gain. 0.42. That will give you how much, please?
8,400.
8,000? 8,400. Total value now. Please add up. That should be 300, 400. Abi?
Yes, sir.
That is the works after rights issue. For option 2, work after right issue. I like this to be on the same line. No, I don't like. So this is the weight. Quantity of shares, 3,000. Before right issue, the weight is what has happened to the weight? For option 2. Comment, sir. Comment. Comments. Weight of shareholder will increase. The weight of the shareholder will increase by 409. You have treated option 2. Look at option 3. Shareholder can take up part, sell part. Now, how many would this shareholder, how many are you going to take up? Imagine you are the shareholder. You are entitled to 20,000 new shares. How many are you going to take up? How many are you going to sell? Yes? Amaka?
So I'll take up 10 and sell 10.
50-50.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and Wilson, what will be your choice? Wilson, what will be your choice? Zainab, you want to speak?
No, sir.
Okay, what will be your
Probably
choice? How many are you going to buy?
40-60.
Okay. Regardless of the percentage, value will not be affected. We can, in line with Amaka's suggestion, you can do 60-40. Value will still not be affected. The weight of the shareholder will not be affected. That's where I'm going to. So open your schedule. You have your item. You have your quantity. Then you have the X right price. Then you have value. Please remember, the existing shares will not be affected. You have the shares already. So your existing shares, I mean the quantity will not be affected. Value may be affected. Existing shares, the quantity you have 100,000. But we have tried, Sha. We are going to finish. The next question is just theory. After right issue, the price should be 2 naira 92 kobo. Value should be 292,000. Then, in line with Amaka's suggestion, new shares taken up. New shares taken new shares taking up 10,000. That's 50%. After the right issue, the value of the stock market still remains 2 naira 92. This becomes 29,200. Am I correct, please?
Yes, sir.
Multiply. Am I correct?
Yes.
Definitely, this 10,000 you are taking up, you are going to buy it. What is the cost of new shares? Cost of new shares taking up? Taking up. So we are taking 10,000 up. What is the price per new shares?
2 naira 50 kobo.
Thank you. I want that class to participate. Even though believe is not talking. I don't know. I hope you are not sleeping, Sha. Fidelis, I hope you are there. Wow. They have left also. You need to check on them occasionally. Fidelis, believe, the iPhone. I don't know who is using an iPhone.
It's Deborah, sir. My system is
Because
off, so I'm using my phone.
okay. Thank God it's talking. I've been wondering who is using this iPhone. Yeah. So multiply, what is the cost? That should be 25,000, Abby.
5,000. Yeah.
That should be 25,000, right? 25,000 naira cost of new shares. I will be in brackets. 25,000 will be in bracket. It's cost, not be in bracket. Then you are going to sell 10,000 shares. Gain on sales. Gain on sale. What is the gain per new shares?
42 kobo.
Thank you. That's 0.42. Multiply by 10,000. What do you have? That should be 4,000, Abby. 200. I should be correct now.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So total value. Sum all your value together from beginning to the last. Total value. What do you have?
300, 400.
That is total value. Before right issue, value of the investment was 300,000. After right issue, if the shareholder takes up part and sell part, value will increase to 340 worth of the shareholder after the right issue. The last option, shareholder can ignore the rights. and take no action.
Sir, the quantity will be 110, right?
Yes. Yes, I'm not putting it because examiner is particular about the weights. This is what represents weights. But you can put it to. Is that clear? The examiner says impact of each of the option on the weight of the shareholder. The weight of the shareholder is the investment value. So for option 4, ignore the right. You have item, you have quantity, you have the expect. And you have X and you have Y. Your existing shares, You have 100,000 shares in this company. After the right issue, the expected share price at the stock market, 2 naira 92 kobo. Your value, 292,000. You are not taking up the right. You are not doing anything. So that's your value. Wait before right issue. Wait before the right issue. 3. What has happened to the value of the investment? What has happened to the value of the investment?
It has reduced, sir.
Thank you. Please note, and I'm going to put it there. The investor will suffer loss in investment value if he decides the investor will suffer loss in investment value if he decides or he decided to ignore the right and take no action. Is that clear, please?
Yes, sir.
The only time the investor will suffer loss is when the investor decides to ignore the rights. Please note, whenever there is a right issue, the shareholder must take a certain position. If the investor decides to ignore the rights, the investor is likely to suffer reduction in investment value. Any question, please? Any question, please? The last aspect, I don't need to worry too much. Examiner says, look at it, prepare a report for the board member that fully evaluates the 2 potential methods of financing. of financing the company's expansion, 13 marks. What are the two methods? The company is considering rights issue or convertible loan stock. Now, do a report to the board. You are the company's accountant now. Do a report to the board member evaluating rights issue and convertible loan. If you have to do this report from your desk, from accountants, from the company's accountant to the board of directors, you are doing the reports, rights issue or convertible loan stock. You are now going to explain what is rights issue. What are the benefits of raising new finance through rights issue? What are the risks? When you are done, you are going to talk about convertible loan. What are the benefits of convertible loan? What are the risks associated with convertible loan? In your writing, you are going to assume that the board members are non-accountants. You are going to explain to them in details. Look at this. Look at the reports. Look at my reports. Right issue. For an established company, right issue are much more popular for the following reasons. Established listed company. 1. Right issue are relatively cheap to make. Perhaps less expensive than public issue. Point number 2, the issue price is relatively unimportant since all existing shareholders will benefit from the cheap price in proportion to their existing shareholding. The company needs to make the right price significantly cheaper than the market price. This puts pressure on shareholders to take up the shares or sell to another investor who will take up the shares. Thus, right issue tends not to fail. Controls tend to stay with the existing shareholder. That means there's no dilution when there's right issue. The need to discount the offer price to ensure the issue is fully subscribed and to cover the possibility that the market price of shares might fall. Point number D is explaining why is it that company issue right issue at a reduced price. Is to ensure that the shareholders, the existing shareholders, fully subscribe for the new shares. Also, we are giving them at reduced price because we expect the share price at the stock market to fall. They can cover what they lose at the stock market. The use of right issues leave the credit line free to finance further expansion. You explain it. That means we are not borrowing. That means our credit line is available. Convertible loan stock. You can explain also. You can explain. Convertibles are a mixture of loan and equity financing. They are issued as loan stock with the right to convert them into equity of the same company at some predetermined rates and dates. From the investor's viewpoint, they are relatively cheap, safe, in that there's a close to guarantee interest payment periodically. Convertible loan will pay interest. There's also a right to convert to equity. From the company's viewpoint, convertible loans are attractive because cheap to issue. Loan finance is relatively cheap to service because of the tax deductibility. That is, the interest on convertible loan is allowable for tax purposes. You can go ahead and look at it. On this note, we draw the curtain on the topic size of finance. Any question, please? All right, if there's no question, let's have a blessed evening.
Thank you.
God will give us a better understanding.
Amen. 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 Amen.
All right, let's have a blessed evening. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night, sir.
Okay, gotta go. I will need to even share this. I will need to reshare this with you guys.
Yes,
We
sir.
have done some calculation on it. I will tell the school to reshare.